Asher, how familiar are you with header
Just
versus
start it back from the
item?
top. Just start. We're already just at the very
No,
beginning, so you know what?
I'm
Just start that whole sentence
legitimately
over.
asking him. I'm legitimately asking him. We're here today to talk about creating items within Point of Rental Elite and the difference between a header and a regular rental item.
Okay, great.
Awesome. So, Asher, in your vast rental experience using Point of Rental, did you create a lot of headers?
I created a lot of headers for rental items and sale items and part items. They're great for grouping things. They're
Awesome.
necessary to be able to see about availability correctly. So
Great. Can you explain that for like a multi-store company or why you might use it in a single location?
sure, if you're in a single location and let's say you have a group of excavators that are all in the same class, they're all the same size, they could go out interchangeably on rent, but you want to be able to group them together, you would want them all under the same header record. So you create the header record and then create the serialized records beneath it. And if you had a second store or third store, you could do the same thing, keep the same header so that all stores could use the same header, and then separate the serialized items by store location underneath that header.
Awesome. That's great. So in addition to that, when you're talking about bulk items, so whether you're in a party store and you have linens, or whether you are in an equipment store and you have hoses maybe that go out with an air compressor, when would you use headers for those items?
You would still want to have a header for, let's use the hose example because the background's
Right.
more in the equipment side.
Awesome.
But if you had a compressor and you needed a 1 inch hose, but you had 10 of them on the shelf, you would still want a singular header for that 1 inch hose that's say 50 feet long. And then you would separate the quantity that you had by location. So if you had a
Perfect.
location that had 5 of them, you would have 5 at that one, and then maybe you had two and two at a couple of smaller stores. They would each be separated by location and quantity on hand.
Awesome. So the purpose of a header is like a placeholder that gives you the sum of the quantity available. When it comes to a serialized item, like your excavator, it will show you if you have 10 of them available on the header record across all locations or in a single location. And you can use that whenever you're writing reservations or quotes or anything like that. When it comes to bulk items, you would use headers in a multi-location company so that you can see the quantity available across the entire company.
Perfect.
Awesome. So we're going to show you guys how to do that.
Start with the gear up here, the configuration gear, and go to File Maintenance on this side. And that'll take us to where we can go to the item file. And then if we want to add an item, we can just click this little button down in the bottom left. It brings up a new record. If it's a rental item, you could put your hours and things like that down here, but we're going to pretend like this excavator is a sales item because that's what we're talking about. So you would make it a sales header item.
Okay, awesome.
Items usually have a home and current location of 000. A header record is not an actual item. It's a placeholder, so it doesn't have a physical location. And then 000 also denotes to point of rental that it is a shared item. So when you go and search for it, you can tag the shared items in the search and it will pull up your header records.
Yep. It won't be specific to any individual store when you add in 000.
And it'll tell you that you won't have serialized, and then you can allow transfers and check it as a part item. That's about all you need for a header for this. And then you just click OK. And then you
Awesome.
can go back in.
How do you
You
get
want to
there
create,
real quick? You just page
oh,
up. You
yeah,
just
then
page
just,
up and it'll take you back into the record you were just in.
I forgot about that trick. Thank you, Francis.
And
So
then I
now we're
just
back
wanted to,
into the item we created. So go
yeah, and
ahead.
it puts one in there just so that you can find it easily, because a lot of systems, when you're searching, you have on there not to show zero quantity items. So it does put it on there temporarily. But I just wanted to mention that on the fields within an item record, you can force those fields. I know that when you're creating a customer or you're creating an item, there's a lot of companies that get frustrated when employees don't fill out information that they want them to fill out. So you can force that if you go in through security and you go to file and field security. And if you have any questions on this exact topic, feel free to search ULearn for documents or to call into support, and we're happy to help you.
Great.
Thank you, Asher.